Imagine me being free, trusting you totally. Finally, I can imagine me. I admit it was hard to see you being in love with someone like me. Finally, I can imagine me being strong. Not letting people break me down. You won't get that joy this time around. Can you imagine me in a world, nobody has to live afraid because of your love is gone away. Can you imagine me letting go of the past? That I have another chance and hard to dance, 'cause I don't have to read that page again.
Imagine me
being free, trusting you totally. Finally, I can imagine me.
I'll be honest with you.
I admit it was hard to see.
It was hard.
You being in love with someone like me. Finally, I can imagine me.
The song is dedicated to people like me. Those that struggle with insecurities, acceptance, and even self-esteem. You never felt good enough. You never felt pretty enough. But imagine God whispering in your ear, letting you know that everything that has happened is now.
It's gone.
It's all gone.
All gone.
Every sin,
Gone.
every mistake,
Gone.
every failure,
It's gone.
it's all gone.
All gone.
Depression,
Gone.
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 By faith,
It's gone.
it's gone.
All gone.
Low self-esteem,
Gone.
hallelujah,
Gone.
it's gone.
It's gone.
All gone.
All gone.
It's gone. All my scars, all my pain, it's in the past, it's yesterday, it's all gone. Go, what your mother did, what your father did, hallelujah. It's gone. Imagine me.
There's no pain, Jesus can't feel. No hurt he cannot heal. All things work according to his perfect will. No matter what you're going through, remember God is using you.
Sometimes in life, we have to accept whatever is happening in our lives just to have that, courage. Everything that happens to our life or in our life, it's not interruptions of our plans. The Lord will be using our situation for us to win a bigger battle, which is ahead of us. Did you believe that? Yes. Whatever we go through in life, the challenges, the troubles, the change of plan, what we are going to be talking about today, those things that happen are not interruptions of our plans, but it's a better way. God is preparing us to win a bigger battle. That's why Yolanda Adams, the battle is not yours, told us that. Remember that God is only using you for a better thing, because that battle is not yours. That battle is for the Lord. Wow, what amazing text over there. And in today's Inspiration of the Soul, allow me tell you our memory verse of our soul's inspiration. We are going to be taking a reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 11. And it is one of the most renowned verses ever. But I would be telling you this as our inspiration of the soul. It states, this is from the NIV. Yes, the NIV version. It says, from the east, I summon a bird of prey from a far off land, a man to fulfill my purpose. What I have said, that I will bring about. What I have planned, that will come true. Let me read also in other versions. It states, I am calling a man from the east to do what I want. He will come like an eagle from a far away country. He will do all that I've planned. Everything I said will happen just as I said it would. What a beautiful text it is. I will summon a bird from the east, from the south, from the west, from the central. And a man from a far land will come to your life in order for my purpose to be fulfilled in you. I said, what I've planned for you, it's what will come to pass. It's so inspiring. We shall be digging deep into that, and we shall be having the best of what we can draw from that. I still have more songs to be played for your listening pleasure. This includes also God Only Knows What You're Going Through. It's a song we shall be playing in a later time. And also, we shall also be having a song by Levixon. It states that Embera. Yeah, it is speaking of Embera. So we shall be analyzing those songs, plus also these memory texts we have read, and how we can get inspiration from what we already know. But before, know that God is in control. Did you know that? Yeah, it's better for you to know right about now. God is in control. Let's do enjoy this.
This is no time for fear. This is a time for faith and determination. Don't lose the vision here. Carried away by the motion. Hold on to all that you hide in your heart. 'Cause there is one thing that has always been true. It holds the world together. His children will not be forsaken. God is in control. We will choose to remember and never be shaken. There is no power above or beside Him, we know. Oh, God is in control. Oh, God is in control. History marches on. There is a bottom line drawn across the ages. Culture can make its plan. Oh, but the line never changes. No matter how the deception may fly. 'Cause there is one thing that has always been true, and it will be true forever. God is in control. We believe that His children will not be forsaken. God is in control. We will choose to remember and never be shaken. There is no power above or beside Him, we know. Oh, God is in control. Oh, God is in control. He has never let you down. Why start to worry now? Why start to worry now? He is still the Lord of all we see, and He's still the loving Father watching over you and me. Watching over you, watching over you, watching over me, watching over me, watching over you, watching over you, watching over me, watching over me, watching over you, watching over every little sparrow, every little bee. God is in control. We believe that His children will not be forsaken. God is in control. We will choose to remember and never be shaken. There is no power above or beside Him, we know. Oh, God is in control. 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 Oh, God is in control.
Wide awake while the world is sound asleep, and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. Every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories that somehow never leave you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. You keep a cover over every single secret. So afraid if someone saw them they would leave. But somebody sees you. Somebody will never leave you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you.
Indeed, God only knows what to say about you. God only knows what you're going through, and God only knows what plans He has for you. This is one of the most inspiring moments now as we head into it. And in this inspiration of the soul, we want to discover if exactly the change of our plans or the change of plans that we had, it's for a better cause, or it is for a fascinating factor. This is one thing we are going to be discovering in this edition of The Inspiration of the Soul. Allow us also reflect back on our memory text earlier on, that we took it from the NIV, and we were talking of the book of Isaiah chapter 46 verse 11. It speaks of something amazing. It says, this is in the New International Version, commonly known as the NIV version. It states, "From the east I summon a bird of prey, from a far-off land, a man to fulfill my purpose. What I have said, that I will bring about. What I have planned, that I will do." It is speaking of how possible it is for the Lord to fulfill a purpose in everyone's life. And irrespective of whatever happens in your life, that you may seem like that may seem that it may not now come to a fulfillment, or your plans, or the purpose of the Lord in your life, that doesn't matter. What matters is that no matter what happens, the Lord will send even a bird from the east, or will send someone from a far land, someone that you didn't know even, will come in your life, or will come to help you meet that plan that you had before. This is how the purpose of the Lord comes into reality. That is it. Now, what happens then? What assurance should we be having? As in, when we speak of changes of plans. Today we are going to be talking about a change of plan for the purpose of the Lord, or the change of plan for a purpose, irrespective of how we have interpreted that. Let's first briefly talk about this. Can we stop a seed from growing or becoming a plant or even becoming a tree? No. Most cases, whenever you plant a seed, nothing can stop it from growing. And as long as it is placed in the right place, that seed can still become a plant or can become a tree. Now, this now makes us know that indeed, if God has placed us in this planet Earth, He has placed us with a purpose to fulfill some things in life, though we may not be seeing it coming. But those plans, that purpose that the Lord has for us, will come to fulfillment. That is the hope we shall have this morning. Now, let us first talk something about plans versus purpose. Purpose are more important than plans. Purpose are more powerful than plans, and purpose precedes plans. Meaning that though we could have been planning, but there's some purpose that the Lord has created for us. Earlier last weeks, in the previous weeks, we spoke about many are the plans in the man's heart, but the purpose of the Lord will come to fulfillment. Many are your plans, the plans of the type of job you need, the plans of the type of marriage you need, the plans of how you want your children to be, the plans of how you want your life to be. Many are those plans, but guess what comes to a fulfillment? It is the purpose of the Lord, meaning that purpose comes first and your plans comes second. Purpose is controlled by the Lord, and plans, it's as you as individual person. Now you can't be above God. It is God to make a fulfillment of purpose. Let's first start with this story here. I was having a conversation with a lady over this weekend, and in fact it was a Friday, and she told me that she was into a relationship, and that relationship was one of the best relationships ever. As a young lady, she has been keeping herself from not messing up for the longer time she could, not until a gentleman came into her life and made her crazy in love. So the two of them enjoyed the relationship. A child came in between, and the guy suddenly changed his mind. But inside her mind, she was putting that this guy was the best guy for her, and this was the guy supposed to marry her. The story changed in this way. The guy disappeared, and on realizing that the guy was again married to someone else, the guy never wanted to know about her and the child that was between them. The truth be told, as she confessed to me, she was like, a year later, as she suffered, as she maneuvered taking care of this child and also, preserving her life and trying to hustle as a woman now, she realized that this man, who was a loan officer in some microfinance institution, was feasting on people's money. It's like if someone is working from a bank, all these loan companies, whenever you give your money to the loan officer, he does not record. He ends up eating that money. So on realizing 1 year later, this gentleman had consumed 50 million of the company, of this loan company he was working for. Now 50 million. And her admiring this guy, or maybe wanting to settle with this guy because of well-off as he was, God was trying to save her from the tragedy, because at the end of it all, her herself would be arrested because she would be considered as a beneficiary of that money the husband was eating from the loan company. Now you can see God brought into her suffering, but to save her from a tragedy which was not going to make her settle in a relationship even. Sometimes things that happens in our life, the events that happens in our life, it's for us to be saved from a tragedy which was going to be bad for our future. And God will be changing that plan. You have that plan that I want to marry this guy. You have a plan that I want to have this type of job. You have a plan that I want to have this and that, and that I want my children to be this and that. But God changes that plan. And when he changes that plan, he sees something better for you. He wants his purpose to be fulfilled. Let's first look at some of the stories of the Bible. When we take a look at the book of Exodus chapter 2 verse 15 and 16, Moses was born to like a Hebrew man, and they were in captivity those years ago. Now, the story about Moses was that God wanted his purpose to be fulfilled through Moses. He was born and was meant to be killed as a baby. But not only meant to be killed as a baby, God still saved him, and he went to live in the palace of Pharaoh. He was also living as a royal child of the kingdom. And at the end of it all, 40 years after, the plan changed. Pharaoh was planning to make him the next Pharaoh of Egypt. But God changed the plan after he killed one of the Egyptians and disappeared. So that plan changed. Moses ended up in Jethro's house, where he also lived there for 40 years before God called him to go and save the Israelites. Meaning that change of plan was for a purpose, for God to fulfill something for the many people. And, I've told you that there are many events that happens in our life, and those events do not happen for the bad cause. Those events happens for a purpose of saving us from something that was going to be bad for us. That event may be the death of maybe someone who was supporting you. A change of plan may happen as a result of event of maybe the only man that was supposed to marry you. The event which may happen in your life may be event of maybe death, maybe losing your child or losing your children. Those events may keep happening in your life, and it may be a determining factor for your plans not coming true. Well, you may be having a plan that I want to study up to university, and the only parent who was supporting you passes on or dies, and you never now complete that plan. But even when that plan is interrupted, the Bible stated in Isaiah chapter 46 verse 11 that I will send a bird from the east, and I will send a man from a far land to fulfill my purpose for your life. You may be having all those plans you had, and some event happened along the way, and you've given up. You have stated that maybe now it's not going to be possible. But at that time you're thinking of such, the Lord sends someone to help you up in life and for you to get what was meant for you. That is exactly what the Lord does. And plans of God is to deliver us and not to condemn us. The other thing we need to know is that the Bible states that my purpose will stand. If you are underlining this word, you underline the word stand. My purpose will stand. When the Lord says that my purpose will stand, it means that even though you try doing the other way around, it will not work out, not until his purpose comes to fulfillment. The word stand in Hebrew words and in the origin, it means that something that will disturb you not until you get fulfilled it. It does not mean just something standing. It means that thing will stand, that thing will exist not until it is fulfilled. And if it is not fulfilled, there's nothing else which will happen again. Apart from that, that is what the Lord states. For Moses' case, he lived for 120 years as human, but his life could be divided into 3. He lived 40 years in Egypt, in the palace, and was living like a prince. And he lived again 40 years in the wilderness, taking care of goats and, sheep and animals in Jethro's family. And it was through that time that God came into his life. He ended up writing the 5 books of Old Testament, the first 5 books of Old Testament at that time, 40 years while he was in suffering. And the other next 40 years of his life, which is the third phase of his life, was that it was used for delivering the Israelites from captivity. You can now see God changed that plan. From birth, he was meant to be killed, but somehow Moses was not killed. Instead of being killed by the family members of Pharaoh, it was again the daughter of Pharaoh who adopted this Moses we are talking of. And so it was like that, meaning that the purpose of the Lord was supposed to be fulfilled through Moses. And irrespective of whatever circumstance might have been planned against you, it is the purpose of the Lord to be fulfilled. Let's first talk of Joseph as another Bible story. Joseph had a dream that he will become someone great, but he never knew how this was going to come to pass. Guess what happened? Joseph was subjected to suffering in order for that dream of his to come true. So I don't know how many times your plans have been interrupted. I don't know how many times you've suffered to get that thing that you wanted to get in life. But all I could say is that it's part of the process, and it is clearly going to show that the Lord is going to fulfill something for you. Joseph first had to pass through suffering in order for the plans to be fulfilled and for the purpose of the Lord to be fulfilled in him. Let's now summarize this. In summary, we could say that God has a purpose to be fulfilled via the circumstance that we go through in life. And that change of plan through that event can make it very true for us. God has a purpose to fulfill in our current suffering, in our current troubles, in our current everything. And it is that circumstance which could be changed that God will come in to fulfill something important for our life. And also, this reveals the true nature of God and the characters of God. Above all, it also gives you the character needed for you to have a successful life or for you to have a good life. There are people, they say when you're successful without suffering, you don't have a character. That's why most people keep abusing others. When they're successful, most people don't even care about helping others. Most people are just like, they underlook at other people. But when you go through suffering, God uses that suffering to build a character in that tomorrow when you get what He had planned for you, you can be able to share with the others and not using what He has given you to destroy the others. That's how better God's purpose can be coming through in our life, through the sufferings we go through. And also the other thing that we may summarize is that God is using that circumstance in order for us to get something better. Hallelujah. And also the last thing that we may say is that when God changes our plans, He would be saving us or avoiding us from something which could have harmed us in the future. Just like the way God saved this lady from being married to this loan officer, who in the later time was arrested, including the woman who he was, meaning that if it was to be her case, she would right now be ending in prison. You see how God saved her? Just by that. God was saving her from, she was taking it as something which was bad for her life, but God was trying to save her and to use that suffering from saving her from a tragedy which was going to be harmful in her life. May we find peace in those words, and may the Lord keep inspiring us every moment, because whatever happens in our life does not define what life was supposed to be for us, but it is opportunity for everything to come true, what the Lord has planned. That's why our memory text was that from my east, I will send a bird. From the far land, I will send someone to fulfill my purpose. You hold on to the Lord, because that purpose will come true through His mightiness. Because many are the plans in your heart, but the purpose of the Lord is what will come to fulfillment. That is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 11. Enjoy the best of the hour